Hello everyone, Danny here today to talk to you about the audiobook Life Reset, a LITRPG novel, written by Shemer Kuznits, narrated by Jeff Hayes. This is a book that I have had recommended to me by a multitude of people, and I had it on my list of definite list 2 books. Then I was contacted by a subscriber who said, hey, I'd love to support your channel. I'd love to donate a book. Is there a book you want? And I was like, well, why don't you send me one of your favorite books? And this was the book that I was sent. So then it was like, okay, well, now I really have to listen to this book. And thank you very much. I'm not going to say the name because I don't know if the person wants the name mentioned on the video or not, but thank you very much for the book. It is a wonderful book. I can see why so many people recommended it to me. It's slightly different than other lit RPG books that I've listened to in some ways, and really different in other ways. And I don't know if it's the author's writing style, if it is just that I've reached a point in my understanding of role-playing games and lit RPG that I can enjoy these elements, but there's elements in this book that have been in other books and I didn't enjoy it so much. But in this book, I really enjoyed it, and I tend to think it's really the way the author did it. What am I talking about? But before I get into that, I have a favor to ask. If, like me, you love books, especially audiobooks, please subscribe to my channel. Come join me in my audiobook journey. Now, what do I mean by elements? So, with role-playing games, you have character building. And all the books that I've listened to have character building. Oftentimes, what the books like to do is to go through and spend a lot of time quoting the stats, and you get these long sections where they're doing nothing but quoting stats. And some people I know really dig that. For me, sometimes they get a little bit old, and that's one element of lit RPG that I'm more neutral on. Depends upon how long they go. This one I actually really liked the way the author did it. Now, there were 2 different types of stats that you have to pay attention to in this book, because you don't just have the character building for the character himself, for Oren. You have the character building for his village. So you have Oren. Now, there's this MMORPG game that has come out and taken the world by storm, and Oren was lucky enough to be one of the first ones in there. And this part of it, I really don't understand. It may be a real thing that I'm like completely unaware of. But Oren basically makes his entire living off of the game. And he makes a lot, I'm talking real world. He makes a lot of money off of this game as a character in the game. They explain in the book how that works, and I can kind of see it, but I kind of don't see it. So it may be a real thing. It may not be a real thing. I don't know. Either way, he's the big man on campus. He's got the largest guild. He's making a ton of money. He's the big man on campus. And then there's a coup. And he's overthrown. Now, the people that overthrow him need him to delete his character in order for them to get all of those spells and everything that he's making money off of. So when they pull this coup, they force him into a monster role, and it's a goblin. He becomes what is basically a fodder creature for other players. And their thinking is, well, Oren's going to go ahead and delete this character, and then we'll collect everything that he's been collecting. Well, they really didn't know Oren all that well. Oren's not going to delete this character. Oren's pissed. What Oren's going to do is he's going to build this character up, and then he's going to go kick their butts. Now, he's warned, don't do that. Delete the character. But he doesn't listen. And all of a sudden, he gets sucked into the game. And now he can't leave the game. He can't leave this character. This character is him. This part's kind of fun because he does have communication with the outside world through the game. And there's legal ramifications that come into play. And he has to deal with lawyers and other stuff like that through the game. And it's actually kind of fun to listen to that part of it. But now he's stuck. He can't delete his character. He has to play out this character. And he realizes that he's got to reach some massive level monster character before he can actually leave the game. So it's not like he's going to be stuck in there for the rest of his life. He can, if he gets himself to a large enough monster character, he can leave the game. But how does he do that as a goblin? Well, he's got to build a town and a community around him. And so then he starts focusing on building his town and his community. That was actually something that I haven't had in, other books so much. You get it in the Land series, but it's approached differently in this series than it is in the Land series. And I really enjoyed that. I'm to a point now to where when he's making his decisions, depending upon the decision, I'm thinking, oh, that's a good decision. Or I'm thinking, why would you're messing up? Oh, that's going to come back and that's going to bite you in the butt. I know that one is. And he goes through, he gets this really fun kind of IR that gets attached to him and becomes his little sidekick character. There's language in the book. It's not one of these things that's pervasive throughout the book. It's certain characters use a lot of language. So you'll go for a long period of time where you have no foul language, and then a certain character comes in and it's how that character talks. So then all of a sudden you've got it while that character's on screen. There's some sexual elements to it, even though he's a goblin. And this part is kind of fun because he's got Tika, who he's trying to resist his desires for Tika. And Tika very obviously desires him, and but she's a goblin and he thinks it might be kind of perverted. And it's a fun kind of twist to the book. There's a good bit of humor in the book. There's a good bit of action in the book. Lots of stats, lots of character building, the village and the community building, kind of everything that you're really looking. If you like Lit RPG, all of the elements of Lit RPG are here. Now he has what becomes an arch nemesis, a hobgoblin that becomes an arch nemesis in the book. And if it wasn't for the fact that it's a book, and so that somehow he's going to pull a victory out, there would reach a point to where you'd be like, I guess he's about to die because there's nothing that can happen to save him here. And when he figures out the finale on how to win everything, I honestly didn't get it. I could tell what was coming, as far as I could tell, okay, we've reached that point in the book where he's figured out how to defeat this enemy, but I haven't figured it out. I have no clue what he's about to do that is going to defeat this enemy. And that was nice. When he does do it, it works. It makes sense. It's not something that I'm going, okay, that was kind of cheesy and stupid. I wish you hadn't. I didn't think of that is how it goes. Wow, that was brilliant on your part. All right, good job, Oren. Very interested. There's 2 books out, 3rd book getting ready to come out, and I'm really excited to go on with this series. It is an excellent Lit RPG series. The narrator, Jeff Hayes, does a great job. He has voices. They do use some sound effects in there, which is really nicely done. Sometimes when they do sound effects, they way overdo the sound effects. They don't do that with this. The sound effects they use are with Jeff Hayes' voice. So when he's being a monster, they'll monsterize his voice. I mean, he'll deepen it and do his thing, but you can tell that it's also being altered as well to really add to that monster kind of a voice, to add echoes and things like that to it. It is a really good book. I'm really glad that it was recommended to me. And once again, thank you for the book. Now, Dro and I are still working on figuring out how to, make our video together. I just, the term for what was collaboration. There we go. Our collaboration video. We're still figuring out the ins and outs of that. So that's one of those things that's going to be coming up. My son that's home on leave is down south visiting family. When he comes back, we're going to record the video. So that's going to be coming up as well. I want to apologize for last Friday. I missed last Friday's video. That's my fault. It's on me. We had a lot going on. My son coming home on leave. My daughter-in-law's college graduation. Work has been crazy. And all of a sudden, I looked up and realized that it's Saturday, it's Sunday. I didn't post a video. I just totally got swept away with everything that was going on. And it's my fault. It's on me. I apologize for that. That being said, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like my channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, questions, comments, feedback. It's what the comment section is for. Put them in there. But most importantly, no matter what else you do today, make sure that today you listen to at least one really good audiobook. And I most definitely recommend Life Reset, a lit RPG novel by Shemer Kuznits, narrated by Jeff Hayes. Thank you.